Welcome back to Breakfast Television. 9 million Canadians suffer from cold sores annually. Joining me this morning to talk about the subject, the dreaded subject, Dr. Martin Unger. You are Clara's consulting physician. Welcome to Breakfast Television.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So we're talking about cold sores this morning, and there's actually a spike or a rise. And is it common, first of all?
Extremely common. I mean, 1 out of 4 Canadians, which is 9 million a year. Many people get it 3 or 4 times a year. So it's very common and has a very dramatic socioeconomic effect on our society.
And not only that, but it affects you. It affects productivity. A lot of people who are suffering from cold sores sometimes don't even leave the house. They want to stay indoors. And can we try to find out what are causing these cold sores?
Yeah, well, we know what's causing it. It's the herpes simplex virus, referred to medically as HSV1, but most people just call it the herpes virus. And there are different types, but for our simplicity, it's just the one type that we'll talk about today. And it's highly contagious. 80 to 90% of our population have it, and very easily spread. The interesting thing about it is even if you don't have a cold sore, in the prodromal phase, which is the phase before the cold sore comes, people get a little itching or tingling in that area. And even at that stage, virus is shedding, the herpes virus, and it can be communicated to other members of your family or your spouse or loved one by sharing the same cutlery or a glass or plates. So
I have to ask, for someone like me who's never had a cold sore, can I get a cold sore from sharing a drink from someone who has one if I've never had it?
Yes, if they're either in this very early phase, called the prodromal phase, or if they have an active lesion. Okay. It is very contagious.
And when you say highly contagious, so the obvious, sharing a drink, lipstick, makeup, that kind of thing, kisses, obviously. But is there any other way that you can get it that people aren't aware of?
No, it is direct contact.
It's just direct contact.
That's right.
Okay, and how long does a typical cold sore last?
A cold sore normally 10 to 14 days without treatment.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, it is. Actually, you know, the Marku Matchbox Corporation did a study recently, and they showed that 51% of patients or people who suffer from this problem, they will change their social obligations or cancel altogether, which was surprising, 51%. A third of people, when they get a cold sore, they'll call in sick to work.
Yes.
Yes, and 79%, which is not uncommon, are more self-conscious.
Well, because you have people who have, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I've seen people with cold sores. You have some people who have just a little bit of a flare-up, and then some that are really huge where your whole lip is swollen. So is there a different, those are types that you were talking about? They're different?
Same animal, but just different extents of them.
Okay, and so how can some of these herpes, cold sores be treated? Do we call them herpes?
Okay, yes, they are herpetic cold sores. And the best thing is to treat them as early as possible. So if you get that little warning, the tingling, that's when you should apply the medication.
Is it already too late, though, at that point?
Well, it depends. If you use most products, you're still going to get your cold sore. The beauty of the Clera product, which is a new product in which we consider the next generation of products for treating cold sores, is that with this product, if you use it in that early stage, actually up to 70% of people will not even get a cold sore. Okay. And if they do get it, the cold sore will be smaller than normal and heal much more quickly.
And how does Clera work? Is it just a simple application?
It is a simple application, but it's unique in the fact that it actually kills the virus rather than just keeping it confined in the local area. It's also unique in the fact that it will shorten the length of time the cold sore is there. In many cases, as short a time as just 2 days.
That's better than the 10 to 14 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the big thing is prevention. And the other thing is if you use it repeatedly, it cuts down the number of recurrent attacks you get of cold sores a year.
Okay, so you could use it preventively. Okay, so that's pretty good. So before we let you go, quick tips one more time for people at home how to avoid getting a cold sore.
Avoid contact with anyone who might be in either the shedding period of time or who actually has a cold sore. Secondly, when you're treating the cold sore, touch the area with your medication, but then wash your hands. And for the sake of...
Can children get cold sores?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
It can be any age.
Okay.
And always use the sanitation cycle of your dishwasher for your cutlery, your dishes, your glasses, and important to stay ahead of it.
Those are great tips. Thank you so much, Dr. Martin Unger, Clara's consulting physician. Great tips there for cold sores. Stay tuned to Breakfast Television. Coming after the break, we have your entertainment.